Hello, world. I am the mild-mannered madman Brian, and you're listening to episode 3 of my Bipolar reality series. Have you ever had so many thoughts fill your mind at the same time that it made you think you were going crazy? Have you ever caught yourself fast that you got lost in your own words? Have you ever found yourself saying or doing something that, even as you're saying or doing it, you think to yourself, what am I saying? What am I doing? If so, then you've either been using some not-so-over-the-counter drugs, or you have experienced the subject of this episode. I would like to talk about the most misunderstood aspect of bipolar disorder, mania. To the outside world, a manic person can seem hysterically happy, disturbingly obsessive, or just plain paranoid. But to the person who is manic, it can be anything from a euphoric adventure to a panic-filled nightmare. Because people often consider mania to be the opposite of depression, they tend to assume that mania is always a positive mood state. In reality, it is a highly energetic state that can manifest symptoms in many different ways. While mania at the lower end, or hypomania, can present itself a lot like hyperactivity, at the higher end, mania can induce psychosis. It can make it tricky to determine what's real and what's imagined. To be clear, extreme mania can be dangerous and potentially violent. Yes, mania can sometimes be an exciting, even thrilling sensation, but not always. Sometimes it can be an agitated, relentlessly distressed state where just being comfortable in your own skin is difficult. Manic states can drive creative revelations, motivate you to try new things, or give you the energy to complete important tasks. And then sometimes mania can keep you from sleeping or getting anything done. It can stir thoughts and ideas in your head until it robs you of your ability to focus or concentrate. And yes, mania can also be a positive experience. Everyone has their own lifestyle, has their own environment of people and places, along with any number of things that may be affecting how they live their life. So how people respond to the highly energetic state of mania is typically a result of how they live their life when they're not manic. Even under the best circumstances, in the safest of places, surrounded by the best people, mania can still cause impulsive and risky behaviors. Whatever you would normally enjoy the most, shopping, eating, gambling, drugs, sex, all become intensified during a manic episode. Unfortunately, it can be difficult to think straight when you're manic. It's easy to get carried away and take risks that you would never take under normal circumstances. In too many cases, this leads to addiction, financial problems, unstable relationships, and even legal trouble. So mania is not the fun side of being bipolar. If you're someone who cares for someone who has bipolar disorder, I would like to apologize for the utter insanity you have to endure. I swear that it's no joy for us to go through it either, regardless of what it may seem like from the outside. So, thank you for loving us enough to forgive us. Mania can be triggered by any number of stressful or emotionally volatile situations and can last for days, weeks, or even months at a time. That's mania. It's the Pandora's box of mood states. So next I'd like to talk about strategies for dealing with mania. But before I do, I want to reiterate my disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a mental health professional. What I am is someone who has survived being manic more times than I can count. Usually my impulsive behaviors involve loud, passionate rants that annoy my friends and family, inappropriate fits brought on by prolonged irritability, impulsive shopping, and a definitive increase and a definitive increase in my sex drive. I occasionally get myself in over my head. It seems like once every other year or so, I'm at the wrong place, the wrong time, doing or saying the wrong thing, and mania is to blame. Thankfully, my mistakes have been minor, sometimes costly, often embarrassing, and always exhausting, but minor. Mania is like a fire. If you manage it correctly, you can use it safely. And just like a fire, if you lose control of it, you're going to need an escape plan. The best thing you can do to cope with mania is maintain self-awareness, avoid triggers, and plan ahead. When I become aware that I've been triggered, I've found that no matter how important what I'm feeling may be, the best thing I can do is separate myself from the situation and not allow my mania to make things worse. If you or someone you love has bipolar disorder, then survival necessitates learning from each episode. What I mean is it's important to understand the trigger. It could be the result of coming out of a depressive phase. It could be attached to a traumatic life event, past or present. It could be brought on through excessive stress or excitement. When you identify a trigger, you can cautiously avoid and neutralize its impact on your life, somewhat like protecting a wound to give it time to heal. Dealing with triggers requires you to face personal truths that are psychologically volatile. It helps to have an ally in this process. Oftentimes, however, if that's not something you have access to or feel comfortable with, then a trusted friend or family member can help. In the event that you need medication to manage your episodes, there are a few drugs out there specifically designed to treat mania, which usually involves the use of a mood stabilizer and an antipsychotic. There is also an abundance of doctors, pharmaceutical companies, TV commercials, and websites to tell you all about them, so I will let the professionals cover that subject matter. Recreational drugs and alcohol do not help you make better decisions. To one degree or another, they all impair your judgment, and you'll need sound judgment to protect yourself during a manic episode. I know it's tempting to party your way through the mania, but drugs and alcohol come with downsides that can devastate your world. In fact, drugs or alcohol can be the triggers themselves. Please, don't let mania drive you to drink. Don't muddle your mind when you need it the most. It never helps, and it always seems to end badly. It is your responsibility, as it is mine, to maintain self-awareness and control over your behavior. Failure is not an option here. The alternative can be jail time, involuntary hospital visits, bankruptcy, and broken relationships. Mania can be cruel. Beyond avoiding triggers, there are things you can do once a manic episode has begun. First, stop what you're doing and take a deep breath. Not a sigh or a groan. Take a moment and inhale slowly until your lungs are filled with air. Hold that breath for a second, then slowly let it go. This simple process is the foundation of meditation, which can help you clear and calm your mind during a manic phase. It can give you the momentary clarity to find the help you need to cope safely. Once you realize that you're in a manic state, you'll want to find a safe place to attempt to calm yourself down, or just let the intensity die down enough to attempt to be functional or social again. I try and find natural ways to calm myself, like using meditation, but I also like to use calmative teas and herbal supplements such as L-theanine and GABA because they seem to work fairly well for me. As I've said before, Mania is a highly energetic mood state that, much like fire, can be put to use when properly managed. Got too much energy to sit still? Why not dance it out? Seriously, find your safe place, home, your car, a closet, whatever, and dance like you don't care who's watching. It's amazing how well that can work. Of course, exercise is a healthy way to use all of that extra energy, and there are endless ways to exercise that can help. Everyone has a way of exercising that works for them. Find your way, and it could lead you to a healthy, more manageable. When I'm manic, I know that my logical brain is probably not in charge. I tend to operate on more feeling than thought when I'm going through it. That's why I plan ahead. I do my best to be self-aware and thankfully have people in my life that help me stay that way. That will trigger mania and remain prepared to act if I become manic, according to a simple plan. Here it is. From the top. Stop and take a deep breath. Give yourself a moment to recognize what's happening and how you're responding to it. Next, go to a safe place, wherever you can find one, and try to clear and calm your mind. Take as much time as you need. There is nothing you can do for the world when you can do nothing for yourself. So time. When you're settled enough, make a conscious decision about how you are going to use that energy. Put it to work in a good way. Catch up on some chores or simple projects. Focus your passion into art. Learn something new, or just pound that energy into a punching bag. Dealing with mania can be a challenge, but with the right help, the right understanding, and the right plan, you can keep it from ruining your life. As my final thought on the subject, I'd like to suggest one more thing. Forgive yourself for being manic. It's all too easy to make mistakes when your own mind is betraying you. It can be hard to live with regret, and we don't always get the chance to mend what we break. But you are not alone. Your struggle is real. Your life matters, and you are worthy of forgiveness. I'm the mild-mannered madman, Brian, and thank you